Mic check, mic check. Morning Masters podcast was made, of course. I ain't gonna put no music in. I just did a whole intro, but I'm in the studio with my daughter, and she kind of moved around and knocked some over, and it just, yeah. So kids gonna be kids, right? But I love her to death. So shout out to my daughter. Right now we had a studio date, so we did that first, and then I wanted him to come and record. Been a long week, man. Long year, long quarter, long month, long everything, man. Um, First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for supporting, of course. Cannot do anything I'm doing without the support of my supporters, listeners on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. I just love all the support I'm getting, man. Every week. Whether I share a link, whether I don't share a link. Sometimes I don't even share the links. I just post them on YouTube and I'll get tagged in them because people sharing them and saying how I motivated them. They like this part. They didn't like this part. Like I like all comments, negative, positive, great feedback. You agree with me, not agree with me. Like I love every single comment or kind of support I get, whether it's in favor of me or if not in favor of me. Like, I don't care. Anybody tell you that. So definitely shout out to all the supporters and everybody that's rocking with More Than Masters, whether it's me, whether it's the timeline show with me and Juanito, or whether it's Main and Slim. Like I take everything the same grain of salt. Like I love it. I love it. I love it. Love the support. With that being said, before I get to what I want to talk about, I want to first say, hey man, don't nobody take time for granted. You know, time is something. I mean, time isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? Any memory you got, any molding you did, any growing you did, maturing you do. Anytime you overcome a stride, overcome a time in life, anything in life, like anything, like it's all time. Time is everything. So don't take time for granted. And a lot of people every day, all the time, are dying. Within the past month, I've heard of a lot of people passing away. I've heard of famous people passing away. Yeah, man, don't take time for granted. Definitely utilize and cherish every moment you got with your loved ones, your family members, your kids, your elders, your neighbors, the people that you don't talk to on a regular basis, but you got a huge amount of respect for. I ain't gonna get in here. I ain't gonna get on here and say go rekindle every friendship and don't hold no grudges, because sometimes people do create lines that they cross and you can't come back. But I will say just understand that time is very, very valuable and don't waste it, because there's gonna be a time where your time expires. So with that being said, I had posted something on Facebook the other day, and it kind of went like, nobody has all the answers. We all just out here trying to figure it out, all of us. I think that's verbatim, and that kind of came from, it actually came from a podcast I did about a year or two ago with a guy named Wayne, and I think he said that, but not in those words. He said it in a different way, but he just kind of said, everybody out here figuring it out. Nobody has all the answers. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I think that a lot of times we forget that, within ourselves. We think that we have to have all the answers. We think that we can't struggle. We think that, or because we're struggling and somebody doesn't seem to be struggling, we think that that person isn't struggling. But in all reality, all of us, I'm not saying we're all struggling, but all of us are just trying to figure it out, bro. Like, everybody, no matter who you talking to, no matter how successful they are, how unsuccessful they are, how far ahead they are in life, how far behind they are in life, everybody trying to figure something out somehow, some way on a daily basis. Whether it's how to get that next dollar, whether it's where you're going to sleep, whether it's if you're going to work that day, your car going to work, whether it's you're going to get gas, whether it's finding a babysitter, whether it's how you're going to pay the rent, whether it's where you gonna put these stocks at this month, how you gonna spend this check. We all trying to figure it out somehow, way, shape, or form. I don't care who you are, what you do, how much money you got. Everybody out here trying to figure it out. Every single person. And I thought about this more so because the other day I was talking on the phone, and I'm in a new position where I work, right? And I'll be honest with you, I worked with this company for a good little bit, and obviously companies change, things change, and the company is changing drastically. I'll say that, to say the least, right? And I think that, because I'm from the company, I think that, and I know a lot involving, the logistics part of the company. I think sometimes people think that because you've been around it so long that you know every single thing, and I really don't. But the role I'm in now is fairly new. It's a fairly new to me, rather. It's a fairly new role to me because I haven't been around enough people to shadow them to see it done correctly. I've seen people do it, but they all either got fired or they just left, or they just couldn't take it, and they, from what I remember of them, they weren't the best fit for the job. It's a lot of that. So I have no really like success points to go to look at and say, okay, this is how this should be done. And I say I like to say, we was talking on the phone. It was like, because everybody going through it. Like everybody in the company in the position is kind of going through it because it's retail. It's hard to find work. Hard to find people that want to work. So people that normally giving direction are also having to, use their hands and do labor as well now. But all while still giving direction, all while still knowing your numbers, all while still doing what you're supposed to do in your position, but you also are doing other roles as well that in the past you didn't have to do. But anyway, she says to me, she goes, well, I know you probably can do it with your eyes closed, but, I'm over here, da-da-da, because she's venting, just going through the motions, venting like, anybody do. When you retail, you work, you vent and you go to work. That's the American way. You vent about the job. You say, you F this job. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. You get your ass up. You go to work and you do this and you do that. That's the American way, right? And I remember them saying that. I'm like, damn. I don't know if it's because I don't show it or I don't necessarily like complain or I don't quote unquote vent to every single person, but I never want nobody to ever think that I'm doing anything with my eyes closed. Even fatherhood, like just anything in life, like fatherhood. Like I think people look at the outside looking in sometimes and they think, well, your kids love you. You always around your kid. You always got your kids, but all this is stressful. I never been a bad dad, but don't get me wrong. Like I didn't always have what I had. I didn't always have the support I had. I didn't always have the money I have now as far as what I'm making. And I definitely didn't always have the mindset I have now. All that goes back to what I said about time. All that came with time. All that came with trial and fail. I got 2 kids, so you see me with my younger one. It's probably because, and even though I give them both the same thing, and they both have the same life, but I also know where I went wrong or what things I did that I wouldn't do now because I tried and failed. I did it with my oldest, So yeah, and I know how valuable time is, which I'm gonna talk about later on. But yeah, everybody out here winging it, man. Like I don't want nobody ever. If you looking at this, I don't care what you do. If you feel like you feel discouraged, you feel like it's not enough time in the day, you're just not getting by. Trust me, it's you and every person. It's a you and every person. Everybody's struggle might be different. The severity of not finding out these issues or not finding solutions to these issues might be different for certain people. But at the end of the day, we all going through it. Everybody's struggling. Nobody out here just got every single thing down packed. Even from the famous to the unknown, even famous people deal with stuff on a day-to-day basis that we probably never know nothing about. Just like we deal with stuff on a day-to-day basis they never know nothing about. I know people that are, they struggle with trying to build a support system, or they struggle with trying to balance work and family. They struggle with trying to balance a work life, and they don't have kids. They just got a wife. They trying to balance that. It's all struggles all across the board in life. So for me, like why I don't typically complain is because when I'm driving, I try to use that time to like meditate, think, or whatever the case may be in my mind. I don't necessarily harp on anything that's my shortcomings. I try to see any positivity. I use my art. So my art would be this, like podcasting. This is me venting. I might not vent on the phone to nobody. I might not vent about my life to nobody, about my shortcomings or my failures to nobody. But when I sit in front of this camera or this microphone and I'm start talking and I start venting, that is my release. I urge anybody to find a release. Find something that you think, or that helps you release those thoughts that you have that, you're not enough, or that, you just can't get this done. Release those negative thoughts, and just kind of push positivity in your life somehow, some way. if you can. It's not for everybody. I know that. Um, for me, I think that time is just one of the most valuable things I can think of, right? So my daughters, I do this podcast, and so let's talk about this, right? I want to talk about I work, I work a lot, so I might work 50 to 55 hours a week, right? Let's go on a daily basis. Let's go on a day-to-day basis, right? Real quick, let me get this up. Let me get my my notes up. Not notes for the podcast. That's my thing out loud is still no notes. I don't do notes. I just had a I had a line that I wanted to say. It's not notes for this though. Okay, so cool. I ain't get to that. Anyway, so you think about my daughter's still making noise. I'm sorry, guys. You okay, baby? You okay? Yeah. Okay. I love you. Okay. So you think about one day out of the week. Initially when I did this though, I actually had 24 hours to live playing in the beginning, but my daughter messed that up. That's neither here nor there. So you got 24 hours in a day. 10 of those hours I'm at work. Boom. So now I got 14 hours in a day. I try to get 4 to 5 hours of sleep. So let's just say 9 hours. I get about 4 hours of sleep, but let's say 9 hours. Let's say I get 5. Let's say for some reason, somehow, some way, I got 5 hours of sleep. So now I'm stuck with 9 hours. All right. So you ain't think about time to self, wind down. Take me an hour to drive to work. So to and from. So that's 2 hours. No, I'm sorry. Take me an hour on a daily basis. So that's 8 hours I'm stuck with now. So you still got 8 hours to play with. And I think you do got to plan your day accordingly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to give 4 hours to your kids, 2 hours to your dream, 2 hours to yourself? Maybe you read a book. Maybe you just do some self-care. I don't know. I know it sounds easier. It's easier said than done. I'm not sitting here saying map out your whole day by day, because things happen. You got kids. You might get sick. You might be running late doing something. You might have to stay and work 12 hours instead of 10 hours this day. It's a lot that go into every single person's day, but when you think about it, you got 24 hours. You got to make the best of it, because everybody 24 hours, don't get me wrong, it's not the same, but it is the same. It's the same as far as how it ticks and the actual duration of that time. You may have more time leisure than I have. You may not be on a schedule. I may be on a schedule. So our 24 hours are not the same, but we have 24 hours nonetheless. All of us, no matter who you are. If you're on earth, you got 24 hours. So with that being said, a lot of times we have to, just make sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? You got to really, I have to decide, damn, do I want to come to the studio today? Should I edit today? Or can I wait till Wednesday? I got my kids today, so should I just take a break from all of that and just give them, this whole 8 hours I got, or this whole 6 hours I got? You know what I'm saying? But you're also tired. Like, we didn't even equate to naps. So I'm saying 4 hours, right? 4 hours of sleep. Multiply that by 5, so 20 hours of sleep for the week. But mind you, I'm working 55 hours a week. That shouldn't even add up. That's not even a good ratio. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a good ratio. When you think of 20 hours, even though I did 25 hours of sleep. So for 50 hours I'm working, I'm doing 25 hours of sleep, but I'm still doing stuff throughout the day. I'm just up and running. It's me, I don't really take naps. I get cranky when I take naps. I can't take naps. I take naps, I get up, I start wilding at everybody. I'm asking you while you're asking me questions. I'm kind of pissed off. You might give me a look. I'm gonna ask you that look about now. Like, I'm looking at I'm irritated at that point, because I feel like I done lost hours, because I know how valuable time is. I know how valuable time is, so I know that me taking a nap for 2 hours, I done took 2 hours from my daughter. I done took 2 hours from probably creating something that I could have created that I love. I done took 2 hours from recording. I could have did a podcast. I could have knocked something out. It's so much stuff you could do in that 2 hours that's racing through my mind that I'm getting cranky automatically, because I lost that 2 hours. I can't get back. It's valuable. Time's valuable. But I just talking to people, and it's not just one person. It's actually, I'm gonna say about maybe 4 or 5, maybe I'll say 4, maybe 4 people in the past week or 2 weeks or so, where I've had to tell, like, yo, I don't know if it's an issue where you don't have time. I think you're not making time for this and that, right? And granted, like I said, we got kids, we got a job. Most of us work. Some people work 40 hours. I happen to work 50, 55 hours a week, but some people work 40 hours a week. I'm a little jealous. I feel like, damn, I could do a lot with 15 hours right now. 15 extra hours in my week, I could do a lot with. But we chose this life. I chose it. I like to make more money. I chose to do that. I like to be in charge. I chose to do that. I'm not dissing nobody, right? But I also want to, in the grand scheme of things, I also want to keep at bay that, you know, I don't want to hit somebody with 40 hours, though, complaining to me about not having enough time to do this. I'm like, damn, you got 15 hours I see in your day already. Like, I'm already mapping your day out. You know what I'm saying? You got kids. I'm not saying that if you don't have kids, your life is just easier. But because it don't mean that. You can still take care of somebody. But responsibility, let's not say kids. Responsibilities. Your level of responsibilities. Obviously, multiple kids, got more responsibilities. One kid, you got more responsibilities. No kids, but you take care of your brother or your grandmother or something, you know. But if you ain't taking care of nobody, just yourself, your own being, and you work 40 hours a week, you ain't in school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how somebody like that can tell me, oh, I don't have enough time to do it. You're not making enough time to do that. But that's with anybody, not just that person. Even somebody do work 50 hours a week. Like, what are you doing outside of work? Like on a day-to-day basis. So you got 24 hours in a day. You work 10 hours. You got 14 hours. You sleep 8 hours. All right. Okay. Boom. So you got 6 hours now. You slept 8 hours. You got 6 hours now. What you doing with them 6 hours? That's what I'm gonna ask. Because as a creative and as somebody who believes in something and you love doing what you're doing, even the most busiest of busy people find time to perfect their craft, find time to, you know, put time in it to get XYZ, find times to make art, to make music, to do things they love to do. I don't care if it's 30 minutes, I don't care if it's an hour, I don't care if it's 2 hours out the day. You gotta find some time, some medium. You gotta fit that in. You know, a lot of women like to say this, you know, they be like, you know, people make time for who they want or what they want rather. And that's no different than what you love. Whether it's a man, whether it's a business, whether it's a art that you like to do, whether it's a talent you have, you gotta make time for it. You have got to make time for it. You know, one of the things that I see, and this is just me, I don't know for sure, I can't speak on it, but one of the things that I see and that I think, and mind you, like I said, nobody has all the answers. This is not me giving you answers. This is me giving you suggestions. You could say, man, that shit is bogus. There's no way you can map my 24 hours out. And that's true. Because I map mine out and I still feel like somehow, somewhere in there is wrong. Because I don't want alone time. I want chill time. Just to sit on the sofa and do nothing for like 30, 45 minutes if I can. An hour if I can. I'm always on the move. I've been up right now. I can tell you right now. I'm not complaining, but I'm telling you right now. So right now, I woke up at 3 in the morning. All right, got to work. I work 30 minutes away. Got to work. Well, got up, got dressed, got to work. So since 3 in the morning, I've been up. Right now, it is 9:41 p.m. Now, I ain't doing calculations of how long I've been up, but I've been up a long damn time. And I still decided to come to the studio. I still have my girls, still did time with my family. I still took my daughter. She said she wanted to do a little date. We went to the studio, we ate. I made time for what I wanted, and I still got things done. And after I leave here, I told her we could have a movie date tonight. So we're going to turn the lights off, get some popcorn, and we're going to rock out, right? But you have to find time for those things. You have to map out your day. Like, you can't just, even though I said we all had to figure it out, you can't just walk outside and think you're going to figure it out. It don't work that way. I don't think. I don't have the answers about you. I don't have the answers. I just feel like it don't work that way. I feel like you can't wake up and just go about the day and hope that shit just work for you. It don't just click that way. You got to map things out. You have to plan ahead. You got to plan ahead. Like where I work at taught me that. You know, they got seasons and quarters and things like that, right? They tell you, well, you know, it's winter right now. You got to start thinking about spring. We halfway through the winter. But people would joke about corporate America and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, corporate America showed me so much about real life because I feel the same way with life. It's halfway through the day. It's Monday. I can't not plan Wednesday. Wednesday's my only off day, right? I have to plan Wednesday out. What I'm going to do? What time I wake up? Am I sleeping that day? I can't just wake up and go about the day. No, I got to plan that shit out. That's the only way you're going to get to do the things you love and you're going to actually be productive or have any conduciveness to what you're trying to do. Any process you got, any progress you're trying to do. If you want to be conducive, you have to plan ahead. But I don't have the answers. This is not me giving y'all the answers. This is just me suggesting. If you think it's easy for you to go outside and just wake up one day and go outside and you think that you're going to become a millionaire, you might. I don't know. I just, it don't work for me. But there's two things I want to touch on before I get out of here, though. I think social media, right? I'm not the guy that's going to tell you not to be on social media because I feel like I'm promoting this through social media. This is social media right now. I'm talking to you. This is whether it's SoundCloud you're hearing this on, Apple Podcast, whether it's YouTube you're watching the video on, that should be up right now when it's posted. This is social media. So I'm not going to tell nobody not to be on social media. But I know, like, when I lock in the studio and I'm editing, I always I put my phone on a table that I can't hear or feel a vibration. You know why? I don't need no distractions. I need to be locked in because I'm timing myself. I know I want to be here 2 hours. I want to get up out of here. Whether it's for entertainment, like maybe my own self-care, or maybe I'm linking up with somebody else, having a good time, good night, whatever the case may be. Whether just going home to get 2 extra hours of sleep because I usually sleep 4 hours and I want to get 6 hours sleep this night. Regardless of what it is, I plan ahead. But you also got to map out your day. You got to have some kind of organization in your life if you're going to be like with anything. Like I told you, time is valuable. Organize that time. Time is valuable enough to be organized. I'm telling you. Time is valuable enough to be organized. Women like men, they say, what they say? Oh, like a man that plan. Like a man that go on a date. Have a plan. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Every day is a date. You got a date with Wednesday. You got a date with Thursday. You got a date with Friday. You got a date with Saturday. Plan that shit ahead. You got to plan it ahead. Got to. Don't have a choice. But the social media aspect of it is like, people will say, well, yeah, I don't have time to do this. But I see them going live on Facebook. I see them posting every 2 days, every 2 days, every 2 minutes on Facebook. I see them commenting on everybody's status, laughing, sharing stuff. So you got time. You got time. You just ain't make time. You got the time. You just chose not to make it. And that's what I see in a lot of people sometimes. I see that people say, I'm tired or, I don't have enough. Nah, you got enough. You're not tired. Trust me. If you could sit down, I know I talk to a lot of people who go on the TikTok rabbit holes. And they say they'll be on TikTok for 2-3 hours. Most people I know that do that, they don't do nothing on the side though. So it's fine. They don't have no side gig. They're not trying to start a business. They're not doing nothing on the side, like nothing at all. They have no leisure to do. They want to work and go home and lay down. That is fine for people like that. But for people that are trying to not work for somebody the rest of their life, that's trying to start something up, that wants to just be productive and whether it's arts, craft, whatever, we got to utilize the time and actually organize our time right. You can't allocate 3 hours to TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then allocate 45 minutes to something you want to do and you're only talking about it. You got to do it. No, just give me a second. I'm sorry, my daughter interrupted me again. But, yeah, man. And the reason why I even did this, like, I like to challenge myself sometimes. I was so tired today. I'm tired as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I'm very, very tired, right? But I told myself, like, a lot of times I talk to people and I try to motivate them. And I get motivated by people telling me, yo, I commend you for what you do. Like, how you find time to do this? Or, like, I had my friend she tell me, like, I want to be like you. I love that. Like, that makes me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. It's an ego thing too. Like, it strokes the ego, but it makes me feel good because it keeps me going. People telling me, yo, when the pod dropping, it keeps me going. Regardless of what I got going on, I'm trying to set up a podcast. I'll go to work for 10 hours. I'll go see my daughter for 30 minutes. I'll run to the studio, set up, do that podcast, even when I guess it's late. Knock it out in an hour, 15 minutes. I try to edit and put it out the same day. And I'm moving forward. I just keep going. I feel like at some point one day it'll pay off. When? I don't know. But I mean, eventually it'll pay off. And if it don't, it don't. But this is what I love to do. This microphone, this camera, editing. I love doing this. It's like, I love to do it. I cannot, like, I can't give something. And that's saying I don't love my job, nothing like that, because I mean, it's cool. But I can't give something else 55 hours of my time and not allocate no time to myself, to my family, to what I love to do. Can't do that. I can't do that. But at the end of the day, I want people to know, like, anybody that feels like it's not enough time in the day, I don't have the support system, I don't have this, I don't have that. Because people, they'll tell you a lot of what they don't have. But what they do have is time to organize their days. Organize your days. I tell people this, right? I'm not the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. I can't think of the word right now. But yeah, I'm not the person that's gonna be on time, all the time. I don't have the best attendance. You know what I'm saying? I'm dependable, but I don't have the best attendance. I tell you, I'm be there at 1. I might be there at 1:05, 1:07, 1:10. That's me. I tell you this. I guarantee you, the days you wake up late or behind, you behind. That's it. Scrap that day. You gotta scrap it. You gotta start the next day because you're already behind. You're not plan. You gotta plan day from the get go. I'm waking up at 6. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Whether you waking up at 6 and your next thing ain't until 2 p.m. because you at work or whatever, you gotta plan your day. Plan your day. Got to. I guarantee you plan your day. At least the things you don't get to, you know that you didn't get to, and you know why you didn't get to it. But just out here, just going hour by hour and praying that you get 4 hours, you can't do that, man. You gotta allocate that. You gotta allocate that, man. Every business, reason why they don't fail, sometimes they allocate funds for certain things. What ifs, rainy days. I want to do this, but we might make this. I want to make 50 million. We might make 45 million. If we make 45 million, what we're gonna do is fourth quarter, we're gonna cut this many hours. That's how you stay ahead. It ain't no different with your day. Wake up at 6. Damn, I woke up at 7. All right, cool. What you cutting out the day to make up for it? You done missed the hour. What you cutting out the day to make up for it? Cause don't try to not cut hours the day and then make up for it. It ain't gonna work. You behind. Now you slacking. Something missed off. Like, no, don't. You can't do that. You gotta allocate them hours, man. You gotta allocate them. I'm gonna leave it there for now, man. I definitely just want, my main thing for this is to tell people, like, everybody out here figuring it out, man. These are just things that I do, things that I think. I'm not even saying I live by all these rules I just spoke about. I just think that they sound good, and I think that it's doable. And somebody out there might need to hear this. It might not be me. Like, I feel like I'm good with what I'm doing. I feel like I map my days out. I map my podcasts out. I balance my home life, my work life. It's definitely hard right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the hardest it's ever been for me in life since I've been working for this company, is trying to balance work life with family life, work life, podcast life, like trying to really organize everything as far as self-care, loving my daughters, my kids, family time, still taking care of people I need to take care of, playtime, or my self-time, whatever in life that I'm dealing with, and then still working, you know what I'm saying? And then still striving to do better at whatever I'm doing. So it's definitely tough. Like, I don't think nobody out here got all the answers. I don't think nobody out here got it written down somewhere. I think everybody do it their way, and hopefully their way works for them. My way is working for me right now. I'm going to continue to do how I'm doing. But anybody that's listening to this, that's watching this, it's more motivation than anything. If you could take something from this, that's amazing. Let me know. Message me. Text me. Facebook me. Twitter. Instagram. SoundCloud. Apple me. I don't care how you got to message me. Let me know what you think about the episode. Let me know what you think about what I said. Easier said than done. I already know. Me talking about it and somebody doing it, two totally different things. I am 100% aware of that. But at the same time, I feel like it can be done. It can definitely be done if you love to do it. So no more self-pity. You know what I'm saying? If you say you're going to do this, try to do it. Wake up on time. And most of all, just, be yourself, man. Be yourself. Have fun. And be trying to wing it. Nobody got all the answers, man. Don't be down on yourself because you ain't got the answer. Don't be down on yourself because you ain't got the time. Don't be down on yourself because you ain't got the energy. Just find a way, even if it's a small way, to get something done. Some kind of productivity. That's all you gotta do. I don't care if it's 30 minutes, 45, if it's just an hour. You can give your job 50 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, but you can't give yourself something you love, your heart, 1 hour. Come on, man. Allocate your time, man. More Master Podcast, we out.